cap and his checkered tie. Let's see what he has to say. What's he got for us this time? They're probably Blu-rays.
Aficionados Chris.
It's a guilty pleasure.
Aficionados Chris.
It's a common measure.
Aficionados
Shine the lights, shoot the camera, smile for the world in panoramas. He likes to impersonate walk-on.
Hey everybody, Aficionados Chris here. Today we're going to be talking about 6 Blu-rays. One of them is actually a box set, and the other 3 are from Mill Creek, one of my favorite companies working today. And the ones we're going to be talking about are Ong Bak, the trilogy Blu-ray collection from Magnet Releasing, as well as The Last Action Hero, Donnie Brasco, and Anaconda on Blu-ray from Mill Creek. So first, let's talk about the Mill Creek Blu-rays. Now, all of these are reissues of already existing Blu-rays, so if you've already owned the Blu-rays for these movies before, you don't really need to pick these up because there's nothing really that different about them. They're the same transfers, they're basically the same Blu-ray. The only thing I can't accommodate for is whether or not those Blu-rays came with bonus features, because none of these do. They're just film only. They don't even have subtitles, so if that kind of disappoints you, then I guess you can skip out on these. But these are just reissues, budget reissues, because they're very cheap. Last I checked, they were about $5 a piece. So if you just want to own the movie on Blu-ray and not spend a whole lot of money, and you really don't care about bonus features or subtitles for that matter, then these are right up your alley. And I don't really know a lot of people who need a lot of these movies, especially Anaconda and Last Action Hero, but I can definitely say Donnie Brasco is one that should be in everybody's collection. I did really enjoy a lot of these movies. A lot of these I saw for the very first time on these Blu-rays. Anaconda was tons of fun. I knew it was going to be stupid with the title alone. Anaconda just sounds like a dumb monster movie, and, well, that's what it is. I do give it credit. This is probably the only horror movie I've seen in a long time where the black guy actually survives the entire movie, so I thought that was pretty cool. And it kind of, I've heard people say that this movie was intentionally meant to be very tongue-in-cheek, so if that's what they were going with, then the movie definitely did a very good job at that, because this was a very tongue-in-cheek, cheesy monster movie, very much reminiscent of like Roger Corman monster movies. I think it was sort of intended to be a B-movie to begin with, simply from like the cheesy effects of the Anaconda. In fact, I actually read most of the budget for this movie went into the effects for the Anaconda in the first place, so that probably explains a lot of things. If you're looking for a cheesy, good popcorn monster flick, Anaconda is definitely one to consider. I consider it sort of a double feature build with Lake Placid. I think the two of them would go great together as a double feature movie night with some friends and family. And next I'm going to talk about Last Action Hero. Again, this was the first time I checked out this movie. I heard about this movie because Spoonie, one of my favorite reviewers, is a big fan of this movie, and I didn't really know what to expect about it. In fact, I think the Nostalgia Critic did a review for this, but I have to date never seen it. But I thought this movie was brilliantly satirical. It was completely goofy. It made fun of every action movie cliche in the book that was around during the 80s and 90s, and was just having tons of fun. I mean, when you have a scene where Arnold Schwarzenegger is having a conversation with Arnold Schwarzenegger, or you have an animated detective cat played by Danny DeVito, I don't think you're meant to take this movie very seriously. In fact, the story was actually created by Zach Penn, one of the writers of the Avengers. Go figure. Way to start, I suppose. And I thought it was tons of fun. It was a goofy movie, very fun, very enjoyable. In fact, I used to have the Sega Genesis game for this thing, which, as I remember, wasn't very good, but, you know, like I said, I never even saw the movie, so I don't even know how you can turn that into a game. I think Last Action Hero does its job well. I mean, you've got Arnold Schwarzenegger. Who could hate that? The one thing I will give to this Mill Creek release versus the original release is that the cover on this one is a million times better than the one they used, which when you look at it, in fact, I'll actually put a picture right here for reference. When you look at that Blu-ray, you wouldn't get that this is supposed to be a completely corny satire of action movies. It just looks like a generic Arnold Schwarzenegger action movie. But this one gets the idea a lot better, especially with Arnold Schwarzenegger coming out of a movie theater. I think you get a better idea of what kind of movie you're getting when you see a cover like this. And finally, we have quite possibly one of the most critically acclaimed in this pile, and that would be Donnie Brasco starring the great Al Pacino and Johnny Depp. Now, I knew about this movie because my dad has said it's one of his favorite movies, and I wanted to check it out for a long time. And Mill Creek, like I said, has reissued it on Blu-ray. Theatrical cut only. There is an extended cut, but I don't know what really makes it different from this version, or even if the director himself really appreciates that there's an extended cut, because, you know, not all extended cuts are approved by the filmmakers themselves. So I'm a little skeptical about checking out the extended cut, but Donnie Brasco was a phenomenal film. It's a perfect companion piece to some quality filmmaking like Goodfellas and The Godfather and even Taxi Driver. It's a fantastic crime movie, which happens to be one of my favorite genres. I love crime movies. Al Pacino is fantastic in this movie, and so is Johnny Depp. I don't really think there were any bad actors in this movie. It was a tight script, beautifully shot, beautifully acted, beautifully directed. It's just a phenomenal movie and deserves all the praise that it's gotten. In fact, I believe it was nominated for a Academy Award for Best Adapted Screenplay because it's actually based on a true story. And because of this movie, I'm actually interested in checking out the real person and the book that this movie was the basis on. So it's a fantastic movie. If you've never checked it out, it's a phenomenal movie. And if you're a big fan of Al Pacino and crime flicks, it's definitely right up your alley. And finally, we come to the last three movies, which is a trilogy, the Ong Bak trilogy. These have been recommended to me by a lot of people because so many people know that I'm a big fan of martial arts movies, and people have said this is some of the best martial arts they've seen in a very long time because these are relatively recent movies. I've heard of them, never saw them until I got this box set from Magnet, and boy am I glad that I did, because these are exactly what I expect from a high quality martial arts movie. These have great stories, great performances, and as you would expect, great martial arts action. They're really well done. They really remind me of some Bruce Lee movies. So this Tony Jaa guy, I hope I'm pronouncing his name correctly, but Tony Jaa, I think he's a very good contender to be up there with the top tier martial artist actors, right up there with like Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan and Jet Li and stuff like that. He's really good in these movies, and it's just tons of adrenaline, tons of fun. And every single one of them is fun. Personally, my favorite one out of the three would have to be Ong Bak 2. But all of them are great movies, and each one of these Blu-rays has tons of bonus features. So much so that I can't list them all here because that would make the video already too long. So they're going to be listed down below. And the other thing is that for people who already have all three of these movies individually on Blu-ray, there's no reason to upgrade to this box set unless you really want a slipcase, because that's the only difference. It's just a repackage. But for people like me who don't own them whatsoever, it's a nice package, very condensed, and just looks nice on your shelf to know that you have the Ong Bak trilogy. But other than that, it's not really a set I recommend for people that already own it, but if you've never seen these movies, you should check them out if you're a big fan of martial arts action flicks, and if you like them, pick up this box set. That's all I have to say about the Ong Bak trilogy on Blu-ray from Magnet Releasing, as well as Anaconda, Last Action Hero, and Donnie Brasco from Mill Creek. I recommend everyone check out these movies in one way or another. I hope you enjoyed the video, and please have a wonderful day. Goodbye.
Hey, guess what? The video you just watched is over. So if you like what you saw, then definitely hit that subscribe button. And if you want to be extra generous, you can go and support my channel on Patreon. Anyone who donates $1 or more gets their name at the end of the credits. And if you want to keep up to date with all my upcoming projects, you can go and like my page on Facebook and follow me on Twitter. Thanks again for watching, and if you're extra bored, you can watch all these other videos that I also made. I guarantee you, you will like them.